Hi you guys, welcome back to our channel, the #1 place for people who love design, art and all things creative. You are watching Dancier and Balog's channel, my name is Laszlo, and in this video I want to give you 7 brand building tips you need to know before you start your business. I think branding is one of those overly mystified subjects that brand designers such as myself tend to give some confusing definitions to whenever you ask them what is branding really. Brand designers either give you an overwhelming answer to this question, noting that brand design depends on the technical assets such as your logo, your secondary logo, your photography and videography style,
your font choices, your color palette, tone of voice, copywriting techniques, motion graphics,
and so on and so on and so on. Or they give you an underwhelming answer and be like, branding is a feeling, branding is a state of mind, branding is an invitation to a journey, like, Nike, just do it. Think different, because you're worth it. You know what I mean? I think it's actually much simpler than that. Imagine your brand like a jigsaw puzzle. The middle bits are the actual brand. You know what you're selling, your goods, your services. And the pieces on the sides, those are your branding elements. Their role is to keep your brand in place and give your customers an idea what your brand is all about. Once you have these borders set up, it helps you as well as your customers to get the whole picture, yeah? Now that we have all this covered, let me give you my brand building tips. Tip number 1, self-awareness. What is your brand all about? Who are you? What are you selling? And to whom are you selling? You need to be able to justify your brand's existence on the market and to explain to people what it is really that you are bringing to the table. What is your brand mission and why should anyone care? Ideally, you would have a set of answers for all of these questions in the form of a short and snappy elevator pitch. Something like this. Hi, I'm Laszlo from Dancier and Balog. We are an interior and branding studio who believe that the synergy between interior design and brand design is what makes a client's business thrive. Having consistent branding elements between your interiors and your brand design is something that your customers will pick up on, and it will help you to provide a fun, distinctive and memorable customer experience to them. Try doing something like this for your own business and practice it. If you want, you can type it out and leave it down in the comments under this video for others to see. Okay, tip number 2, consistency. Whatever you do within your brand, you need to do it in a consistent manner. I mean this from the brand design point of view, like having the same logos, fonts and colors in every little element of your brand, whether that be your website, your business card, your Instagram page. Everything should resemble each other. But I also mean this from a brand promise point of view. You need to deliver the same quality, whatever the project. Set your standards high and abide by them. As an example, we tend to post 2 videos every week onto this YouTube channel. Why? Because by trial and error we have found that this is the time frame in which we can provide videos which are up to our standards in terms of quality and brand message. I say trial and error because you only really know how much you can do and to what extent once you are in the middle of your workflow. Obviously sometimes you cannot provide the same quality for everything that you do, but still this should be your goal really. Don't overpromise though, which leads me to my next point. Authenticity. Staying true to yourself as well as the audience. As time went on, I believe we have become experts at spotting the imposters and the pretenders of the world. Cutting through people's BS basically. I mean, most people my age are so skeptical and they are so accustomed to being lied to all the time that we don't even answer phone numbers which we are not familiar with anymore. I know we all feel this societal pressure to fake it till we make it. And we all do that to some extent. But at the same time you have to make sure that you are not full of it, because people will be able to call you out on your bluff. As DNB, we have started an Instagram page back in 2019, and the content on that page was always absolutely pristine, high quality work, as it should be. But at times we have definitely acted like the work has been done by a big team of designers, not just 2 people, pretending that Dancier and Balog is already some household name in the world of design, and you are the weird one if you haven't heard of us yet. Then we started making YouTube videos. And the thing is, while making pretty pictures for Instagram is not that hard, on YouTube there is nowhere to hide. The content has to be authentic. These days we have about 5 times more followers here on our YouTube channel than on our Instagram. And I think it's simply down to the fact that here we are showing our true selves. We are trying to, anyway. Tip number 4, adaptability. Is your business idea future-proof? Can your brand change, grow and evolve as time goes on? What happens if plan A doesn't work out? Things beyond your control can massively affect your newfound business. Maybe your business partner steps out, or you can't get the funding you were hoping for. Or maybe, just maybe, a worldwide pandemic unfolds itself in the background, putting all of your prospective clients and projects on hold. It can happen, you know. So are you prepared for something like this? These strange times obviously have changed our brand vision here at DNB, and now we are spending most of our time focusing on digital content instead of waiting around until the world goes back to quote-unquote normal. So now we are a design duo who are making content for like-minded designers, artists and creatives, people who are just about to embark on their creative careers. The content is aimed at students as well as young professionals, as it's mostly creative tutorials and industry insights, beginner level advice, with the occasional entertaining video thrown into the mix, which can be enjoyed anyone who has casual interest in graphics and design. See, that's my plan B elevator pitch. Of course, your adaptability doesn't have to be as dramatic as this, but let's say you are an artisan bakery focusing on tea cakes. Would you be willing to bake savory stuff as well if you see that there is a demand for that? Keep that box open is all I'm saying. Okay, tip number 5, minimalism. Minimalism. I gotta admit, I'm starting to hate the term minimalism because it's very, very overused, especially here on YouTube. But I don't really know what else to call this section. Less is more when it comes to branding, and what I mean by that is you shouldn't waste your time and energy building and acquiring brand assets that you don't actually need. Like, if you are a yoga instructor, do you really need your own font? You know, one of my biggest pet peeves is seeing incredibly detailed and amazing looking motion graphics. Instagram is filled with this kind of stuff, which I know the intended brand won't actually use because they just don't do video content. That's a waste. Don't get me wrong, having custom designed interactive assets are very, very cool, and you should incorporate them into your business as you are growing and evolving, but they are not always necessary to begin with. Building a startup is a ton of work anyway, and you always have to keep yourself in check that you are working the smart way. Same goes for social media. Don't spread yourself too thin by trying to be active on all the trendy social media platforms as a brand. Because I'm telling you, it's impossible. Especially if you do all of this on your own. 2, maybe 3 social media accounts are more than enough to take care of. Like us, we're obviously very active on YouTube, and we try to be active on Instagram as well. We also have a LinkedIn page. I haven't posted anything there for like 4 months though, just don't have the time. And I think having these empty ghost accounts won't do any good for your brand. Having no account is actually better than having an inactive account. And yes, you have the option to upload the same post to multiple different platforms, but I don't know, when you see a square image with 30 hashtags on Twitter, for example, that's just not gonna feel like authentic content to Twitter because it obviously has been customized for Instagram. So use social media platforms which make sense to use for your brand, and make sure they are platforms that you actually like using, because social media management is way more work than you would think at first glance. In fact, all of this stuff will take way more time than you would think, which leads me to my next point. Tip number 6. Passion. You gotta be obsessed, borderline crazy about your business idea, because initially, chances are you're not gonna break the bank for the first couple months, maybe years. Overnight success stories do occur, but they're so incredibly rare that I think counting on that is just naive. Prepare yourself for the long game. Like, we just got monetized this month on YouTube, which is amazing of course, but it took us around a year to get to this point. Which basically means that we worked incredibly hard on YouTube for a whole year for effectively nothing. You need to have a source of motivation besides money to do all of this, because initially the money and the hours you put into this just won't add up, and you have to be okay with that. Artists and creators are people who have to work 2, maybe 3 times harder than everyone else, just to stay afloat. Dreams don't come easy. And my last point, originality. To stand out from the crowd, you gotta be unconventional. You will have to do things and find things which other people have not done before, in order to find yourself a gap in the market. And I believe the best way to go on about this is just learning things by doing them. Don't listen to anyone's advice, especially not the people who are not doing what you are wanting to do. And don't be afraid to straight up go against the flow sometimes. Don't even listen to these videos you are watching if they are against your gut feeling. I mean, we rebelled against certain trends when we named our business Dantier and Balog. I knew it full well that English speakers will have trouble spelling and pronouncing these names, but to tell you the truth, I just don't care. I'm sure lots of overly smart PR people have tried to convince this guy to change his name because it just doesn't sound American enough. Get really good in your field and they will learn your name. Take a leap of faith, and if you fail, just try again. Rebrand, reinvent until you get where you wanna be, because one day you will look back and think, gosh, it was all worth it. Guys, I hope you got something useful out of this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up, just to keep the algorithm happy. And while you're here, join our design tribe. We aim to give you 2 videos every week about interior design, architecture, graphic design, branding, illustration, art, and all those cool things in between. Take care, guys, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!